Brad Smith here with Brian Sozzi. You're watching Yahoo Finance, and we are here at Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity. Joining us now, we've got Jane Weekly, who is the Chief Consumer Marketing Officer and Chief Growth Officer of International Foods at the great brand of PepsiCo. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It is the longest title in history.
But it's a great one. You
I'd
wear
like
many
to
hats.
rebrand it. You know, Chief Smiles Officer.
Well,
Let's leave
you're
it at
in
that.
charge of marketing.
Leave it
You
at
could
that.
do that. You can rebrand your
You know what?
title.
I'm working on it.
Well, you're bringing a lot of people smiles already through both beverage and snack, but now you're going to bring even more people smiles through soccer, or should we say football?
Oh, nice. You've been doing your homework. Did you like that spot?
I did.
Soccer versus football? Okay, yeah. No, we've got some very exciting news to break here at Cannes. We're actually announcing that we've just signed again with UEFA Champions League for the next 3 years.
Wow.
For both beverages and our foods business, which we're incredibly excited about. And actually, I was at the final in Istanbul 2 weekends ago. And, you know, the energy and the difference we can make for our brands, for our consumers who we serve, but also for people and planet through this partnership, we're super excited about. So, like at Istanbul, I attended the Gatorade 5v5 contest as just one example. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we've now touched 120,000 young people's lives through that. And it's all about driving access to sport in line with Gatorade's mission to fuel everybody. And just seeing the impact that sort of initiative has on young people's lives. We're very excited to be able to do things even bigger, even bolder in the next 3 years. Wembley next year. See you there.
Yes.
Well, how will you show up? How will your campaigns look different over the next 3 years?
Well, you know, you can already see we're very intentional about driving diversity, equity, and inclusion in sport. So just as one example, you know, this year we really used our brands and their reach and impact to elevate female access to sport and the female game. So, for example, in all of our big campaigns on Pepsi and Lay's, we featured both the male stars and the female stars. So on billions of packs around the world, you not only saw Messi, but you know you also saw Lieke Martens. In our campaigns, you saw Lieke Martens, Thierry Henry on Lay's, Leia and Vinny on Pepsi, and you know it's really important that we believe if you can see her, you can be her.
About time, Jane. I'll just say it. About time.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, so we're really excited about that, and we've got big plans for Wembley. So book your tickets now.
Done. You heard it here first.
And it's the first time the female game, the female final, ever sold out. Mm-hmm. Record-breaking attendance. And so, you know, I'd really encourage you, book your ticket for both now.
That is going to be my next concur charge the second we get back to the office, Jane.
Nice.
You authorized it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as we think about what you're seeing in the customer right now, how would you define this customer across the categories that you're looking across at PepsiCo? Because we've continued to hear that the customer is resilient in their spending. The customer is healthy. How do you see them from your perspective and the executive teams?
You mean what we define as consumer, I think, like so the people we ultimately serve. So look, our brands really democratize pleasure, democratize joy, democratize better for you approach to both snacking and beverages. And so our brands have very high reach. Mm-hmm. So, you know, our penetration from a portfolio perspective is over 90% of all households in many markets. And therefore, you know, we need to really be close to the people we serve and their needs. And what I'd say is we're lucky to be in categories that are very resilient. You know, people are still enjoying the beverage, enjoying a snack. And, you know, we're leaning into that, but we're also leaning into the differences in the consumer's needs. So we're providing choice. So, for example, we're increasingly dialing up our offering of zero products on the beverage side. We're ensuring that consumers have a choice and can really opt into whichever part of our brand suits them best. And so that type of offering is really important to us. And on the snack side, you know, we're working hard to reduce sodium, reduce sat fat, for example, to ensure that, you know, actually when you enjoy a bag of chips, you're enjoying it in the very best way you can. And, you know, removing those slight niggles which might hold you back so that you can really enjoy more often.
For the past 4+ years, after every earnings call, we have talked to your longtime CFO and Vice Chairman Hugh Johnston, and he has told us repeatedly, snacks are on fire. They're hot. Everybody likes snacks. Everybody's snacking. So I'll put this to you. What is the secret ingredient behind keeping snacks hot, Because when I walk down an aisle, Walmart, Target, Kroger, Albertsons, you name it, this is a competitive section. How are you giving a guy like Hugh these results every single quarter?
Well, it's putting humans and people at the heart of our business, both in terms of who we serve, the consumers, but also, I believe, the people that work at PepsiCo. You know, ultimately, we are there to serve our consumers, and we're working hard to delight them. Delight them with the product quality, delight them with the entertainment, and be highly visible and meet their needs, right? We're moving with the times in terms of how we reach them, in terms of the portfolio we're offering, and that's keeping us highly relevant. So, yeah, snacks are on fire, that's for sure.
And what about in the messaging? Because for some brands, they've gotten it incorrect by wavering on their messaging, that they're hearing their internal constituents want the brand to stand for and represent, and their external customers and partners that they also want to hear them take a stance on. How do you approach that at a very polarizing time like this?
Look, we're true to, firstly, I think it's really important that at PepsiCo we're very true to who we are. We have, you know, one of the reasons I joined the company was the company and everyone that works at it has deeply held values. And we, you know, really strive to be very consistent with those values, whether it's an internal people decision or brand decision. And as far as our brands are concerned, I think it's important to find the authentic sweet spot between what your brand means to the consumers you serve and the impact that it can potentially have on the world. And that has to be authentic. You have to walk the talk, to really have actions behind what you say. And I think, you know, if you know, we certainly strive to follow that guidance, and that's the sort of guardrails we use internally on how to navigate. But yeah.
You've mentioned, just going back to something you mentioned earlier, Jane, on Gatorade. Gatorade has long been the standard bearer in that sports drink industry. It's a brand we've all grown up with, but there's been a lot of new entrants in this space. Body Armor, you name it. And they've taken some market share. Is it time to change the messaging for that brand? Or, I mean, how do you take into the next generation to take the fight back to some of these other smaller brands?
Yeah, look, Gatorade's one of our fastest growing parts of our portfolio. And ultimately, you know, we're going to stay distinctive to who we are and really focus on category growth as our primary driver, as well as being competitive in the market. And the way you do that, I believe, is you double down on your strengths. So, you know, Gatorade stands for hydration, obviously, and fueling access to sports. And what we're doing is we're really trying to deepen our impact by creating more choice. So you've seen innovation on Gatorade recently. Gatorade Light, obviously. We're innovating into new formats, such as reusable cups, powders, pods, you know, driving new occasions to drive plastics out and really trying to innovate into spaces that actually our consumers really are asking for. We're leading and shaping the category by meeting our consumers' needs every day. And that's what we're focused on.
We only have 15 seconds, but can generative AI tell you what the next great flavor of Gatorade might be?
It's always blue. It's always blue.
Always.
Or is it red? No, it's blue.
I would predict that generative AI would say it's delicious. I'll leave it at that.
Jane,
that's blue.
With the mic drop moment, Jane Wakely, Chief Consumer Marketing Officer and Chief Growth Officer of International Foods, joining us here. Excellent. We'll toss things back over to you.
That was Yahoo Finance's Brad Smith and Brian Sozzi. Stay tuned for much more of their coverage from Cannes.